What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we're here today taking a look at Cyanide Studios' frankly very underrated game, Aarklash Legacy. And you know what? They always start talking when I start talking. It's ridiculous. So rude. My party members, amazing mercenaries, awesome representatives of the monster people, but all things considered, not the greatest conversationalists. They don't really have a good... Ooh, what's going on over here? Okay. They don't have a very good sense of civility. That's okay, though. As long as they're slashing things to death and taking care of business, I couldn't care less how kind they are. Let's have a look at our map, and I think we needed to relocate up here to the top of the map, so it's going to take us just a moment. And actually, I'll probably just auto-run them all the way there. Now, we don't have to worry about respawns or anything of that nature. I have familiarized myself once again with the abilities that my characters have, and I have to do that like every time I start playing the game. I have to sit down and reread their abilities and be like, alright, so that's what that does, that's what that does, just to remind myself. And that crow is ridiculously close to my screen. Hello, crow. What are you doing? What is he even sitting on? He's sitting on nothing. He's sitting in the middle of the air. Lovely. Crow special abilities. Just one of those little things you learn. Well, I thought there might be a cutscene. Is there? What is going on here? So only Denzel went in there. Where is everybody? Why did it split us up like that? Is he the only one that's able to fit? Weird. Alright, well, let's make sure we don't get him into any, like, crazy conflicts or anything. Maybe grab this chest, see what drops out. The Starred Relic and the Elemental Amulet. We'll take a look at those in just a moment. And maybe, can I go down this thing? No, it doesn't look like I can. Maybe play around. I already got that chest up there when we took care of the monsters that we were up against. Suppose I'll go back through the cave. Weird. Well then, let's have a look at the map one more time and figure out maybe where they want me to go. I was pretty sure this was the place that I was supposed to be hanging out, but maybe it's back down in and over here. I don't know. Let me have a look. Sometimes weird things like this happen where it's not really too clear what's supposed to be going on. Do I have anything in my quest log? Let's take a look here. There is no quest log. That's helpful. Well then, don't ever lose track of what you're doing in this game, I suppose, would be my advice now. Also, don't take like 3 and 4 day breaks from playing. I'm not really sure what was inside of that cave or what the point of that was. It was just kind of like a freebie chest, maybe? No clue there. I guess we'll head back down here and talk to Lorr one more time and see if maybe we can do something over in his domicile. There we go. Alright, I knew I was doing something wrong, and now I have corrected it after a little bit of walking around being worthless. I love that artwork. If you take like a good look at all the things, his weapon is a bone with swords mashed through it, and his belt is a barrel that's being used as a scabbard for his knife. He slammed it through the slats.
I smell men ahead. The ghost leads us into a trap.
You wish to go to the hold in Acheron. This way will lead us without delay.
To Acheron or to our deaths?
Leave the ghost be, sister. He's one of us. Trust him. Words are wind. Blood is binding.
Wendaru's right about the presence of men. We're not the only ones taking the tunnels. There are dozens of recent tracks here. Maybe other members of the guild escaped the swords of the lion and are down here with us.
I feel my blood itching. The patrons are in trouble. We must get to the hold for new orders. But caution is wise considering recent events. Denzel?
Yes, my dear.
Scout ahead. See if you can find an alternate route.
Why, of course.
Ah, so we get Lorr now. That should be pretty cool. And it says that we can choose our party composition through here. But let's have a look at Lorr. I'm not going to get rid of Denzel, obviously. He's like my favorite character so far. He's probably going to be in this for the long haul with us. Assuming the fact that he can't get HP when he levels up is a little bit weird. I don't know how that's going to work out as we go towards the end of the game or how like the scaling is going to work. But let's take a look at Lorr and figure out what he's got going on. Advantage. Lorr recovers 5 mana points every time he attacks. Alright, that'll be useful. Weakness. He has no physical armor. That means you really, really, really don't want anybody beating on him, but That's good because this game actually gives you a lot of tanking options. So if you're on your A game, which frequently I'm somewhere around like the C game or maybe like the C-D+ game, but if you're unlike me and you manage to hold down your A game, you should be perfectly fine. The abilities that he is coming with right now, are Punishment of the Cursed. He summons a projectile of darkness that inflicts 400 magic damage on the first unit that it strikes, allies included. Oh good. It's like the inverse version of what Wendaru has. And then Death Wish. After 2.5 seconds of casting, he curses an enemy, which takes 250 damage. After 10 seconds, if it dies before the end of the curse, it explodes, inflicting 800 magic damage on all of his allies within 4 meters. Interesting. So he's got a little bit of a death mage thing going on. I don't know if he's going to be worth swapping out, though, for Denzel. I suppose we'll hang out with him for just a little while. We'll give him a try, but once we get a little bit further in, we may be forced to abandon him with the interest of keeping our roguey friend with an awesome buckled hat close. In fact, I can guarantee we're going to put Denzel in for somebody just because I like his attack speed buff in combination with that absurd damage buff that he uses. Ooh, let's pause up here, and we've got some new enemies that we've never seen before. Reaper Priests. Let's check them out and see what their stat sheet's looking like. They have about equal armor against all types of attacks. They have the Weakening Laceration, which is going to reduce the physical armor of the target that he strikes, and then he's also got Bloody Respite, or Respite. The Reaper Priest immediately restores 350 HP to his target. So on their own, this is probably a little test fight where they're going to teach us how to use or how to fight these guys. And later on, I bet they're going to be working in conjunction with some rather nasty friends. Let's consider dropping Zanuck on him. And then Wendaru, will spread her out wide over here just to make sure that she's not too far out of the game right now. Oh, there's something in the back too. Skeleton in armor. Not one for the naming here. He is, what he's named. The Macabre Glaive. The skeleton inflicts 50 to 100 physical damage on its target. It costs a lot of SP, so these are technically rogues. Their resistance is terrible, though, but they do have a lot of HP. Hopefully we can get somebody in here to deal with everything before this gets too out of hand. Looks like they're pretty slow. We might think about maybe bombing these guys down as quickly as possible. Let's throw that curse on that one, and then we're going to have Wendaru over here. I want to keep an eye on Naka and make sure... Yeah, I want to make sure that this mob goes down right here, so I need everybody focusing fire, like right now. And there goes the explosion. Wow, that was impressive. That was really impressive. That chunk that it managed to knock out of the rest of the enemies, woo, that's a funsies ability right there, but I get the feeling it's probably pretty expensive. Yeah, it's 150, so it's the same amount as the nuke that our dear friend Nella drops. Let's get Naka regenerating right now. I'd also prefer Wendaru. I don't think we'll have to do anything with Wendaru right now. Let's just get everybody focusing fire on that skeleton in the front. And we should be able to manage here without anything else going wrong. I do like how the battles are fast-paced and slow-paced at the same time, and I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but the fact that it's not turn-based but I can pause, I like how the damage numbers aren't so high that things are over instantly, basically. Like, you do have your nukes, and they all have their place, but it still seems as though the health ticks down a little slowly so that you can keep track of things. I'm going to throw a heal over there on Naka really quickly, just to say that we did. And as soon as, that's 2.5 seconds, we'll put it on that Reaper on the side. And then we'll get him next. Alright, so let's go after that Reaper now, and kaboom, and shazowie, there it goes, and another skeleton down. So that combat went reasonably well. I am interested, we're up against undead, and I really like Loris. I have a thing about liches. They're pretty sweet. I mean, I'm not as into liches as some people might be, but I definitely find him to be badass. I mean, who doesn't like a cool guy with like a lantern on a stick with chains and like a big ass book? Yeah, he's got like the universal, he's got that Warhammer 40k appeal where he's got like shoulder things going on, chains, books, all that fun accessorizing that makes a character at least aesthetically interesting. Let me have a look at my map here for just a moment. I don't think there's going to be any way to cross this right now. But I would like to head, it's not that I would like to head, it's that I have no choice but to head up into the northeast. We're going to take this a little bit slow because this game has a tendency to spring really nasty bosses on you every now and again. Anything new here? A demonic satyr. Let's have a look at his stats. He's pretty much immune to magic as it stands right now. Or his armor is pretty high. I guess that's probably not a percentile. That's probably more of just a value. So he's definitely stronger against magic than he is against physical. Both of his attacks are direct damage. After 3 seconds, the demonic satyr creates a slow projectile of energy, which will hit its target for certain. So I guess it's like a seeker missile, and it does 200 to 300 magical damage on anyone within range. So we want to keep people spread out a tad. So let's put Lorr over there, put Wendaroo kind of like back in here, and then Nella over there so that whoever he decides to chuck that at doesn't get blown up along with friends. And when he approaches death, the demonic satyr self-loads for 2 seconds, then explodes, inflicting 500 damage. So you've got to nuke him at the end, it looks like. Meanwhile, we've got a skeleton mage, also very strong versus magical attacks. Hand of Death. He fires an ethereal projectile, and it does 500 damage and passes through everyone it touches. It looks like immediately after that, he casts Fingers of Death towards random targets. And Fingers of Death, so I'm thinking we're probably going to go after him first. The Reaper Priest, does that have a heal? Oh, it does. So maybe we'll go after the Priest first, then we'll jump over to him. So Naka, you're up first. Go after that Reaper Priest. The Reaper Priest does not have much armor, so what we'll do with the Reaper Priest is we'll get a Lightning Bolt going, or a Celestial Blow going. Once that's all nice and taken care of, Lorr can probably throw attacks at anybody that he likes, but let's get everybody situated first. There we are. So they're both casting now. I'm going to get Naka regenerating just to say that I did. Hand of Death. Alright, so that's already getting ready to go. That's going to be a strong nuke that's being dropped there, so I want to be ready with Wendaroo. Yeah, let's put Leech Grain over here, because this thing's going to die pretty quickly, and I would prefer that when it dies, it heals all the damage from this giant nuke cloud that Naka's about to eat. And so there's a little bit of damage, and there's a bit more, so that should take care of it there. Oh my, what's going on here? Skeletons in armor. Alright. Did I miss something here? I feel like I may have missed something. We might now consider... Well, first things first. Let's throw that out there because it appears as though Wendaroo's seed did not work. Let's throw that out, and we're going to have to get Nella backed up. And actually, we're going to have to move everybody right now. So let's get everybody away from that explosive that's being launched. And then what we'll do here in this case is we're going to drag Naka back. We're going to have to do some kind of taunt here to get these guys corralled back in. And then we're going to spread out and resituate the battle down here. There we go. So Naka's back on that. And what I'd like to do now is have Nella start off a heal on Naka. Naka, what's that going to cost? 100 HP. I'm going to hold off on that until the heal drops, but I would like to buff up all of her stats right now. Lorr has got a clean shot on that unit right there, so he's going to take it. And there's a bit of damage. Hopefully we get that attack off soon. So let's bring her back around for just a moment. And maybe consider... God, they're still pressing in, which is going to force me to continue shifting my flank, basically. All I have in my team are casters, so I'd really prefer to keep these guys as far the hell away from my casters as I possibly can. Maybe... Escape. I might put her on the right side so she can pop Escape if she needs to. Let's get another heal going. Naka's ready for that ability again. Wendaroo's almost ready with her heal. Let's get Lorr back in and taking care of this guy. A little bit more damage while we can. Alright, so there's another heal up. We're going to continue displacing like madmen. And is her taunt back up? Unfortunately not. I would prefer to have that skeleton on her though. So there it is. Lorr now has the open shot there. She is absolutely going to take. And then we're also going to have... No, let's start up another heal, actually. I do like Nella's healing. I'm going to have Wendaroo resituate over to there, just to say that she did. And I've been saying that a lot lately. I need to back off that phrase. Oh, and she's down. God, there is just so much damage flying around. This is just like a parade of pain. And it's all centered on me. It's okay. We've got a kiting team right now, so we should be alright. As soon as... We'll see who everybody decides to follow here. Let's deal damage to this skeleton pretty quickly. There's a bit more. And since we need to clear out this spot right here, I'm going to throw a lightning bolt on there. Lorr can't use that ability just yet, but I am going to have them all start focusing on this skeleton as well. And as soon as that's down, we may have to do the same thing. Actually, no, let's sneak by with Wendaroo, and we're going to try and get... Yeah, let's try and get Naka back up while we wait. Since I don't know what happens when that timer runs out. I should have read the tooltip a little bit better. She's ready to go with another lightning bolt, which we're going to throw. He's ready to go with another... Okay, so it's coming right at him. So let's go ahead and throw that one out there. Back off just a tad because he has no physical armor. And now that everybody's back into the melee, it looks like the mage has backed off of us for just a moment. And actually, she can go there. Oh, she doesn't have enough MP. Well, damn. There it is. So now knocked down. We should be able to finish that unit off. Good. Alright, well, I didn't expect Naka to get DPS like that, but apparently she just had way too much stuff on her. That's okay, though. There is no real downside to getting knocked out. That summon was a little strange, so let's get ourselves over onto the skeletal mage here. I'm going to spread people back out. There we are. Get them in a nice little ring going around. And maybe consider rushing up with her and knocking this guy down if we can. There we go. So we've canceled the cast. I'm going to have her draw back for just a moment. It looks like it knocks down everybody. Allies included. Ah, I didn't see that stipulation. There are so many little... Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all because she was immune, as I recall. We can, however, do elemental chains on that unit just to make sure that it's not dropping Zanukes on Naka while we're trying to hang out here and be cordial. And then get everybody else auto-attacking. Then we'll ride this thing on out. So the debuff is now on that mob. I'm going to throw a heal out there. Let's get Naka kind of healing, regenerating herself. Not ready for anything else, unfortunately. Mana always seems to be in a short supply here. Let's get the satyr lined up, and no buffs going on. You guys told me so many things in the last episode that I didn't know about this game, and I always learn stuff when I LP. That's actually part of the reason why I continue doing this, is because you guys are always giving me tips and helping me be a better gamer and pay attention at least a little better. Let's keep pressing forward. I feel like I'm going to get bossed on pretty soon, but I can't kind of put my finger on why. The treasure chest is always a pretty good indicator. I'm actually going to send a mage over to grab this so that Naka's somewhere in the center. Yeah, a few more goodies, and that's about what I was figuring. We got enemies coming in from both sides. We are trapped now, and what I'd like to do in this case is we're actually going to fall back to here because I'm not going to allow my units to be surrounded if I can help it. They also have a tendency to launch all their nukes right up in the first place, and I want to be at the advantage here. Let's go ahead and jump on the priest first. Nella start nuking that priest. I'd also like to have Wendaroo maybe throw down with a leech grain on the priest. And let's get everybody spread out just in case we have AoEs flying around. So the nuke is already off. Let's get a heal going. Naka needs to be using Vitae treatment. I'll get Wendaroo ready with anything that I have on hand. Ooh, and they're all focusing on Nella. That's fun. So Naka, I'm going to need you to taunt some of these guys. Let's get Wendaroo ready to throw a heal out here. Looks like we have a AoE headed towards us, so maybe get out of the way of that for just a moment. Now that all the casting is done. There it is. We'll get everybody back in and attacking that priest. There we are. So a little heal knocked off there. Oh, never mind. She leveled up. I don't know why we're not getting the heal from Leech Grain. That's a little weird. That's very, very strange, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's going off, but she's just taking too much damage for it really to be noticeable. Let's do Prismatic Silica for now. I'm going to get another heal going from this side of the playfield. I'd also like to put Death Wish on this demonic satyr right here. We do have a lot of units standing around. As soon as that's in, let's get everybody focusing on the target. And I think we should be okay now. Well, we only have 10 seconds. I may have timed that improperly. I thought I had as much time as before. Alas, that doesn't look to be the case. So we are going to waste that here, I think. Oh, unless we get really lucky. We pulled that one out of the fire just in time. Get Naka back in. Ooh, a little AoE just hit everybody. get her healing. Wendaru's ready to go with a secondary heal. There it is. Nella about ready to go with another nuke. Although I think I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's have Loris. Oh, never mind. It's on a long cooldown. He got a new ability too. Fearful Puppet. He can inflict fear on his target. I hope it works against undead, because we're going to try it off against that mage over there who's just launching crazy mad AoEs at us. Over here, I think I'm going to try and give that skeleton as quickly as possible. Bit more damage there. Naka's kind of getting injured. The unfortunate... Let's get Naka out of the way. There are a lot of ranged units, though, throwing down at us. We're out of mana with just about everybody that matters. Yeah, Nella's out. Everybody's out. So, hopefully Naka can maintain aggro while running the hell away. And then these guys, we'll just do a little kite fest here. And that second skeleton's going to go down. Interestingly enough, they do seem to get kind of locked on to whatever unit is here. Wendaru, let's soul tap against Nella. And then as soon as you've done that, actually, relocate over to there. And we'll throw your heal on Naka. There we go. And so Naka's got Vitae treatment up. She should be able to recover now.
Best you can do, mortal.
Very good. Loris has gotten himself another loverly level up, which is going to give him Astral Burn, which is it's better than Ass Burn. I'll put it like that. You might be squeezing too hard in that case, and we never want our liches to have that kind of burn. Rectal burning, no fun. Loris reduces by 30% the magical armor of the target for 15 seconds and destroys 50 of their MP. An interesting ability, but I'm not sure how much stock I would put in that one. Based on the fact that the enemies do seem like this skeletal mage right here, 250, you seem to regenerate pretty quickly in most cases, so what can you do? I may have triggered that one at the wrong moment. Hand of Death, that is going to throw out those fingery things. I wish that Naka had a knockdown. You would think that for having a name like Naka, it would help knock down enemies a bit better, but nope, I was wrong. Mage is fairly powerful. If I wasn't feeling lazy, I probably would have thrown another heal out there, but it felt we had the win lockdown, and there's no kind of detriment for dying, so whatever. Whatever. It'll be fine. Let's go grab our loot, because I love loot, and then we'll sit down and see what kind of goodies we have up in our shinies. Hopefully no cursed rings of nasty earaches or anything like that. That'd be a weirdly specific ring curse. The curse of inner ear infections. Be dizzy, you bastard. Let's take a look at our inventory right now, and it looks like we've got a elemental amulet that's going to give physical armor. We've also got a coiled amulet, but that's white gear, so we'll throw that into the forge. Ring-wise, we have the crenellated ring. We'll throw that one in there too. We have all kinds of earrings hanging out, so it's basically like a Spencer's up in here right now. Let's throw out all the white gear. It looks like we have a lot of rares to think about. For Nella, she's got a regeneration earring in right now because I like to keep her healing at maximum capacity. Right here, it looks like she's got a all-around universal epic ring. Physical armor, magic armor, physical damage, mana regeneration, and yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and throw that on her because that's a really nice ring. It's going to give her some good regeneration so that she can constantly hucking out heals and anything else that we need on the fly. The Earring of Freedom. Well, let's kind of cycle through people and figure out what earrings should go on who. Let's see here. We got physical armor there, a bit of magic armor, and healing done. That's probably going to be a healer's ring. Throw that white gear into the forge. The Earring of Prestige, physical and magic armor in equal portions. Physical, magic, and plus to physical damage. That might be useful on Naka, so I think I'm going to go for it for now. Unless I see anything else that's kind of jumping out at me. We'll go over to Wendaru. And it looks like we've got a ring over here that's going to do some healing done, which is pretty sweet. She's using an earring that gives mana regeneration, but as we remember from previous episodes, she cannot regenerate mana. Big downside for her, and actually one of those things I strongly dislike, and I'll probably swap her out for the first healer I get that doesn't have that downside. I don't like how she's constantly tapping and causing problems. Puts her on a secondary stance for me, although I've never seen her in the late game, so I may be wrong, so bear that in mind. as we go through. I'm not claiming to be the end-all be-all here on strategy. That earring can go. Let's get rid of the blue stuff. We'll throw that all into the forge. We do have a lot of epics sitting around. I'm sorry, rares. Lorr, sir, we need to give you some mana regeneration, so that might be a nice, it's anything really with him. It's got healing done on it, which isn't very useful, but it does give him a nice little nut of mana regeneration, which is always good. Over here with relics, we can pretty much throw anything we want on him. I would like to, let's see what's going on over here. She's already got a better relic. Who else is using a decent amount of mana? Well, Lorr, I guess, is going to be the only guy who needs mana regeneration, so we'll throw that on him too. And the cold relic there. Wait, we have an extra slot for a necklace? Weird. Just throw that on her. I didn't realize she had an empty necklace slot. It's kind of weak. We have any healing received here? No. And no healing received there either. So let's throw the cold relics into the forge because I like the stuff that pops out. It's pretty sweet. Got an HP max here. That'd be an interesting one to throw on Denzel. But I think I'll put it on her for now just for the extra HP. Everything that thing gives her kind of outweighs the 2% healing that she's receiving from there. And let's continue forward. We got ourselves equipped. We got a little bit of time left in the episode. Probably enough time for maybe one more fight. Keep an eye on it though. Anything off in this corner? A big shiny chest that makes me very, very nervous. And they keep shooting geysers. I keep thinking like zombies are going to pop out of the geysers. And while that's not normally something that... They keep surrounding me. Jerks. Let's fall back. Oh, this is another nasty fight. So let's get everybody once again situated into a single front battle. Because I want a unified front here if I can help it. Fearful Puppet might be nice on the Skeletal Archer once we get a little further in. See if she can weasel her way around the rest of these units. Let's throw a Celestial Bolt out there. As soon as that unit lines up... Has she lost 200 HP yet? I don't think she has. I want to make sure that I'm using Vitae as best I can. Little cast over here that's going to be an AoE centered on her. In just a moment, I'd like to throw out Death Wish, but let's get her going with Vitae treatment first. I'm not going to throw out Leech Grain just yet. I'm going to cycle everybody out into kind of a wide fan, though, while I'm here. Lorr, now would be the time for Death Wish, I suppose. Naka, let's have her pop Plasmatic Silica. And so she should be a little bit stronger against attacks now. And then now would be the time for Leech Grain, I think. So that unit should have all kinds of nastiness going on. We'll throw out one heal here. And it looks as though it didn't work again. That is so strange. I've really got to figure out why Leech Grain isn't functioning for me. That's a big, big problem because that's a spell that I really lean on. Let's go ahead and get another heal going, I guess. We'll have Naka draw back for just a moment. Just to create a small gap in the attacks that are being thrown around, I'll have Nella run over to there. And then throw another heal on Naka. Wendaroo's almost ready to go with another heal as well. Lorr is lined up for an attack there. So there's a bit more damage. Vitae treatment will be up very shortly. Lorr, what do I want you to do? Let's throw... There's a lot of ranged damage flying around, but I don't have a whole lot of candidates for crowd control. I could fear somebody, but I feel like it's just sort of a drop in the bucket right now until their next kind of burst of attacks. She's going to take a couple hits while she casts that spell. Wendaroo's going to even out Naka. Naka's going to Vitae treatment at the same time. Lorr, nothing to do over here, so just focus on the skeleton in armor. Down he goes. And let's send Naka off now to Naka some heads. Lots of AoEs flying about, doing a lot of damage, making me very nervous. Let's just continue bombing heals on Naka for now. And in fact, I'm going to queue up 2 of them just to keep them going. And my next target's probably going to be the Demonic Satyrs. just to limit the amount of damage they're throwing out at my units. There's a heal off. I'm going to start draining health from Lorr for Wendaru so she can throw out another heal. There it is. And that demonic satyr right there, I prefer to have him blow up. So let's get an incantation going. And as soon as he's ready to go, there we are. Very good. When he self-destructed, he still damaged all his own guys, so that's fine. His little self-destruct attack doesn't really faze me. Get another heal going for Naka, just to make sure she makes it through the engagement without getting knocked the hell out. Getting knocked out too much, you don't want to pull a Muhammad Ali and just end up kind of not being functional. I'm not saying that to be mean, but, you know, I'd prefer to keep long-term effects on my units limited. Vitae treatment's ready to go again and should carry through the rest of the fight. And as soon as they're down, we'll probably break off this episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for another look at Cyanide Studios' fantastic game, Aarklash Legacy. Go pick it up, have fun, be challenged. I promise it will be a lot of fun, a lot of interesting abilities. You've seen it so far, and I can only assume it's going to get a little bit more dense in the future. Take care out there, everybody, and I'll see you next time.